Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Welcome to yet another webinar being produced for Nomies. Although this webinar I'm going to go ahead and broadcast to everybody so that they can kind of play along at home or in their home office or at the office if they're still at work for a few different reasons. One, I want to let you know that Nomies is there to help you if you are trying to get ahead in the world. You're not just screwing around here in social media. You are actually doing business, potentially doing business online. Trying to maximize the time that you spend on your business. This is one of the reasons Nomies was put together as kind of a group of sorts to help you get done what you are looking to get done. And part of Nomies is providing different value adds. And a couple of weeks ago, we announced the Nomies Empire Avenue Achievement. And these values, as I laid them here, the values are really for those who understand Empire Avenue. And if you don't understand it, you will hopefully understand it as this particular webinar rolls on. This particular achievement will allow my symbol or my username to buy 200 shares in you automatically. You'll receive 200 shares in me, which is a substantial deal, especially if you're just starting out. You'll also gain access to a private Nomies Only community on Empire Avenue, and you'll be sent Nomies Only missions regularly. We haven't even sent our first one yet. And then plus you'll receive a one-time 100,000 EVE bonus. And if that doesn't make any sense to you, you may not be familiar with Empire Avenue, or maybe you were at one point, and you paid it no attention because you thought it didn't make any sense. So I'm hopefully going to be able to break it down for you to explain what it is and really what it isn't and how it can help in doing what it is that you're probably already doing anyway, like publishing on YouTube or Facebook or Google Plus or Instagram or Twitter or Flickr or WordPress or LinkedIn or Foursquare or a blog. Your activity online is really where you can see the fruits of your labor start to be valued, and specifically in Empire Avenue. One of the misnomers of Empire Avenue is that, oh, I'm just buying and selling people. No, not really. My stock ticker could be named anything. I mean, I went with my last name, Perillo. What you're potentially trading in this virtual market of sorts is my activity. And there's absolutely a difference between my online activity and me. This is not slavery. It's not human trafficking. It's basically activity. It's placing a value on the activity. You may have used other services like Clout before that puts an arbitrary number around your velocity in social media. Empire Avenue just adds a few different game mechanics to your social media activity. I've been at it for almost a year now, I guess, coming up on a year, and currently have the highest share price in the index, largely because, not just because I'm prolific, not just because I have a lot of followers, but because I have high engagement levels. That's the thing. You could have 5,000 followers on Twitter, and if Empire Avenue is tracking it, you may have a higher Twitter score than me if more of the people who are following you are interacting with the things that you do. So keep that in mind. This isn't about buying and selling people. It's about monitoring activity and encouraging that kind of activity, not just on Empire Avenue and beyond. It's a game. It's fun, and it's a great way to meet people that you may never have met otherwise. And it's a chance to explore the things that they're doing online. Get outside your echo chamber for just a moment to realize that the internet's a pretty big place, and there are a lot of people on it. So I'm logged in here. I'm not really showing anything that's super top secret. What I'm looking at is my profile page, and I started there just to kind of give you a baseline. When you do log in, this is the screen that you will see, and although I'm not a huge fan of it, it does make sense for what Empire Avenue is. So all the people that I've invested in, I've taken my virtual currency, EVES, and I'll break that down in a bit. I'm able to track all their activity here on the home page. In fact, one of the people that I invested in, Kyle Kimberlin, he's apparently rated a video, so he probably liked the video. That's awesome. So it showed up here on the page because of Kyle's activity with that particular video. That helped me. And of course, it helped him as well because he's engaging in social media. So he's kind of boosting his investment in me, assumedly. As I scroll down, I see various Twitter posts or tweets. Another YouTube video looks like it was uploaded by a news station. There would be other posts in here as well, like potentially any of the other social networks like Facebook or Instagram. There are my 5 most recent shareholders. And then if I scroll down, more show up, and I can get more information by hovering over each one of them. And recent mentions. So each one of these people may have mentioned me, even though I can't see where they mentioned me or how they mentioned me. That's quite a bit of activity of people mentioning me as I scroll through that list. Quite nice. Recent arrivals to the entire network. These are also interesting to watch, if only because, hey, who just joined? What do they do? Where are they at? It's a way for you to discover, people who are already doing things elsewhere anyway. So let's go ahead and dive into, okay, just for argument's sake, Kyle, since he did happen to rate the video right up front, I'm going to click that link. It takes me to his YouTube profile page. Now from here, if I like Kyle, like what he's done, so he's doing some Windows tutorials, I might subscribe to him. He may have gained a subscriber just by liking my video and having it show up in my feed, since I happen to be investing in him. And I can see I'm investing in him because when I click his profile page on Empire Avenue, I see I own 400 shares. He owns 200 shares in me. That's fine if you want to keep, an eye. It's never going to be, and it never should be, tit for tat. If you buy 200 in someone, don't expect that they're going to buy 200 or shares in you. So how much is a share worth? Well, Kimberlin, as his handle or his stock ticker symbol shows, his every share is worth 50.66 EVEs. And over the past day, he's down 0.2. That's average. It's not you can't grow every day. And then dividends per share is a 0.42 EVEs. So what does this number mean? What does this number mean? It gets a little complex, and there are people who have definitely thought a lot longer and a lot harder on this particular topic. The bottom line is that Kyle is active. He's on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, WordPress. He's got a blog, LinkedIn. There's his Empire Avenue score, Flickr, YouTube, and then a series of blogs. And what I can see from this list is that his highest engagement across all the social media is in Facebook. So the chances of me adding Kyle, say, on Flickr are pretty low. I mean, he may have some interesting stuff, but he doesn't really have high engagement. And I can tell, right, just by looking at him, like, well, he's not very active on Flickr. Either he's not commenting on other people's posts, not a lot of people commenting on his posts. Somewhat active on Google+, I think many of us are. But all these numbers combined with his activity, his regular activity, seems to be pretty average. He was, this is a 30-day share price. If I scroll down and I see the sidebar, the ticker, not a ticker, I guess a graph, I can see that he's kind of been up and down, but by and large, he's growing. So that would tell me that his activity is rather steady on his leading networks. And the way Empire Avenue calculates, or at least had calculated it some time ago, this particular share price is based on a few different metrics. One, how active are you, and what are your scores in the top 3 connected networks? So even though he's got all these connected networks, his YouTube activity level isn't going to count negatively against his overall share price, unless that happened to be in the top 3 and he only had 3 connected networks. It behooves you to connect all your networks, if only because you want other people to discover you wherever and whatever you happen to be doing, online. This is the biggest reason to join Empire Avenue, is number one, to get an idea about what your metrics are, your own metrics, and how active other people are on your various networks, as well as to allow other people to discover you. Another reason, or another way, that the share price is calculated is based on the number of shareholders and the number of growth of shareholders. So over time, he's grown. So his activities remains steady. He hasn't disappeared for weeks on end. And he seems to have likely gained a few shareholders as he's gone along, which is pretty steady growth. In terms of that, I would say it's a fair share price. There's no good share price. There's no bad share price. Ultimately, what would matter in the game construct is the share price in relation to the dividends per share. So what do I mean by that? Now this is going to get a little mathematical, and this is where a lot of people kind of get lost with Empire Avenue, unfortunately, and they haven't really made any corrections to this. Some people just like connecting with people, damn the share price, and forget the dividends per share. But if you're interested, the way that I calculate this number, and we used to have a Google Chrome plugin that no longer works with the updates that they had basically set forth in Empire Avenue. I look at a 0.42 and compare that against 5.0 and think that's pretty in line. I mean, that's pretty. It's an even keel. So if I ignore the 0 in front of the 4.2 and compare that to 5.0, if those two are in line with one another or close enough, that's a pretty safe investment. You're actually going to generate a great degree of dividends every day. Well, what does that mean? All right, let me click here, show you my available bank balance. Don't freak out or anything. I have a net wealth of 109 million EVEs with a portfolio wealth. My portfolio is 80,000 EVEs strong, which means everybody that I'm invested in, that portfolio is worth 80,000 EVEs, which is quite nice. So if I click dividend earnings, all these people I have invested in, and I've invested in hundreds, if not thousands of people. These are just the last 100 transactions. And typically they will come in once a day, usually like in the middle of the night. And you can see some of them are really, really small, and some of them are really, really large. Usually, the really, really large ones are from those like me, where I'm producing a great degree of activity, and my share price is high, and my dividends per share is well above 1.0. If you're looking to generate more EVEs faster, you definitely want to concentrate on the dividends per share number more than the share price. And even though I'm the highest share, or I guess stock in the index, that doesn't mean I'm the most valuable. It doesn't mean I'm going to generate the most for the EVEs that you would spend on any one of my shares. For every share you buy, it's going to cost you 533 EVEs if you have not started playing Empire Avenue, if you haven't joined the game yet. And you're saying, well, God, how am I ever going to earn anything with Perillo? I don't know. I'm not going to have a lot of EVEs to start out with. That's true. But that's all the more reason why we did the Nomi's Empire Avenue achievement, specifically because I'm going to buy 200 shares in you automatically. That'll get you some EVEs and a direct investment. And you're going to automatically get 200 shares worth 533 EVEs apiece from me. And even though I've been steady, I've continued to grow. I have not dropped in the index, at least substantially, over a long period of time. So it's a pretty safe investment. Any safe investment, and you're going to generate a lot of EVEs if you concentrate on the dividends per share number here. Anything 1.0 or higher is a generally very safe investment. And that just means in terms of the shareholders that they have and the dividends that are generated, each shareholder would get that much back in return. So for every dollar or every EVE, virtual currency that you spend, you get 3 times as much in return, the dividends per share. So, this game, in terms of growth, it's driven by EVEs, because the only way you can invest in someone like fellow Nomi Raphael Love, the only way you can invest in him is if you buy. So I would love to invest in Raphael because he's over 1.0 in terms of dividends per share, because he's active and he's got an interactive community in his top 3 networks, including Empire Avenue. So he's a top engager on Empire Avenue. It's right there in his top 3. There's also Facebook and Twitter as well. I could invest in him. The problem is I can only have a maximum set of 600 shares right now, because that's the limitation that I've bought into. By default, you can only buy up to 200 shares per person, and you can get upgrades, and you can earn upgrades through different achievements, or you can actually use real money and spend real money to be able to buy more virtual shares in other people. Or you can actually, just like you would buy virtual items in any other game, any other video game, it's pretty much the same thing, except Empire Avenue is actually going to give you, I think, a greater amount of return for the time that you spend with Empire Avenue. So those are just, I guess, some of the basics. In order to engage, you can communicate. You don't have to buy 600 in anybody. I could look at, any one of these people who have commented on my wall. And I may have already invested in them. I could buy 1 share at a time. I could buy 5 shares at a time, and I can balance it out depending on how much EVES I happen to have on hand. And I'm at the point now, and there's a little thing that popped up, and someone just bought 3 shares in me at 533 each, and I get a little bit of revenue. I think I get 20% of the value that the transaction, because I'm at a certain level where I earn a lot, and I also, I've generated a lot of EVES in the process. At 29 million EVES in the bank, I don't know what to do with this. And I realize a lot of people will be like, oh, man, what I could do with 29 million EVES. I can invest in so many people. And that's the idea. Grow that portfolio. Connect with other people. Meet other people with similar interests. Connect with communities. As I said, we've got, if you go to your, right now there's an icon. If you click that link, and unfortunately, this is the easiest way to get there, or seemingly the easiest way to get there. Scroll down to community. You have an opportunity to join different communities based around cities, interests, or personal. We've got the Nomies only community, and the only way to really join that is by applying the achievement to your account. So you're automatically added to the Nomies community from there. And that's really, communities would be, think of it like kind of like groups, individuals. There are different things that you can, different ways that you can interact with people, but not just on site, but also off site. That's probably one of the bigger values of, looking at the homepage and seeing, hey, this is what, the people that I'm invested in, this is what they've posted. Is it interesting? I may be able to right here reply to this tweet or retweet it directly from Empire Avenue. It's about engaging. So Empire Avenue has a few links at the top of the screen to expand. So this is where you might be able to discover different people with different interests. The fact that they're a recent shareholder means more to me than if they're just recommended, because honestly, the recommended label doesn't mean much to me. The fact that they've taken the time to invest in me makes me want to look at them and to know, hey, are they worth investing in as well? We also have the leaders, the site-wide top leaders, listing them out by share price, listing them out by wealth, listing them, or you can sort by them. They're not, top 10, top 8. It's just kind of a collection of these are the top users. Recent arrivals, different social networks, top engagers here. So like some of these people have very high scores on, that would likely be Facebook. If I was looking for top engagers on LinkedIn, I would click LinkedIn. Top engagers on YouTube, I would click YouTube. Instagram leaders, you're looking for interesting people to follow on Instagram. Empire Avenue's trending communities. So if you're looking for popular communities, active communities, this is where you would find them. This is where you would expand your audience beyond knowing me. Engage. And this is basically the front page. You could even, if I didn't show you before, you can post a status update to your Empire Avenue or Facebook or Twitter right here from the Engage screen. And then evaluate. Now this, to me, is probably the most interesting part of Empire Avenue. Forget about the game. Forget about buying and selling shares. Forget about watching activity. When you connect your networks, what Empire Avenue will do is give you an analysis of the quality and audience based on each one of your connected networks. So right now, my network score, my Empire Avenue score, is showing up here. Inner quality, 4 out of 5. Outer audience, 5 out of 5. I'm doing amazing for audience, but I could do better with quality, just a little better. Share price breakdown. The value of my share price is largely driven by my shareholders, less about the social media engagement. So if you're wondering, well, how much of my share price is based on my social media activity versus how many people actually buy into me, this particular pie chart or graph would show you. Shares bought versus shares sold. Generally speaking, people who buy my share, or I should say my stock symbol, hang on to me. I'm a good investment. And then I could also see 7-day share price. I could look at network score history, portfolio value, portfolio value doesn't jump, extremely fast because I don't buy as regularly as I used to in the beginning. And I've got some other statistics that I could dive into as well. For those of you who are active on YouTube, you want to know more about your YouTube score, network score history. So my YouTube score, 89.25. Now it's about 88.75. It's still upper 89. It's not much, even though it looks like a big dip. The difference between 89 and 88 is not that big. So I can see that of the videos, I've had, I've been up 44 this week. Subscribers up 204. Views, I'm up 46,000, or I've generated 46,000 comments. 5,000 this week. Favorites, I guess, according to this, I don't have any new favorites this week. That's kind of sad. Go favorite one of my videos. That would mean a lot to me. Facebook, inner quality, outer audience. So the audience score is measured different or separate from the quality score. And in terms of how that works, they take a look at the engagement of how much I'm posting and how many people are commenting on those posts. And that could very well determine not just the quality, but specifically the audience engagement. Popular this week, so it shows me the most popular posts on Facebook. The grand, and they didn't link off to it, but that was a photo. Nothing was a photo. Diana's first game was a photo. By Daniel Stubbs was a photo. So I can see, just by looking at this, what my most popular posts on Facebook were. Facebook doesn't tell me that. I'd have to guess. Google Plus. Again, I'm able to find more information about that, but unfortunately, they're not ready with Google Plus yet. Still, I'm happy that it's there. Network score for Instagram. So inner quality, 3.5 out of 5. Outer audience, 3.5 out of 5. Not so bad. It looks like I'm on an upswing with the difference being between 60 and 72. I have been posting more Instagram photos because I was on a brief vacation, and there's been a lot of engagement with those photos, and that seems to be reflected in that particular score. So that makes sense. Twitter, doing okay there. Top retweets this week. Who's mentioned me this week? You want to find out who's mentioning you? Look, here's another Nomi. I'm going to go ahead and click his ticker, and if I click that link, it took me to the homepage. That's weird. It should have taken me elsewhere, but apparently it didn't want to. Oh, that's so strange. Maybe he hasn't joined or connected his Twitter account to Empire Avenue yet, because I have an IPO link as I have over those links. Either way, I can get more information about all my connected networks here. The one reason why I recommend trying Empire Avenue, specifically in relation to your business and your brand, and you have to pardon, I'm not being incredibly comprehensive with this particular walkthrough. I know it's kind of difficult to cover everything, especially when we're talking about a social network that many of you haven't necessarily used. This was the best addition to Empire Avenue since I joined. And I was lucky enough to be a part of the beta. And as soon as they dropped the beta and anybody can send a mission, the value of the missions kind of dropped a bit. But it's still worth doing in the sense that I do a mission every single day. And I send it out to all the shareholders, and we'll start sending it out to Nomies as well. I have 2 that are currently active. And what we'll do is 4 hours ago, we took all the articles that we posted on Lockernome and the video that we streamed out, the live video, the full TLDR, the Lockernome Daily Report. And what I'll do is, have it set inside this update and send it out as a mission. So what that means is that someone who's a shareholder could earn 500 EVEs simply by opening this up and then clicking on the mission URL. Even though I have all these URLs in there, I only can select one. If they click this link, they will get 500 EVEs in their account. It's pretty simple. It's an easy way of driving qualified traffic, people who are your shareholders, who have a stake in your success in this network, can help drive that value. Another thing I like doing with missions, and you can create missions. I think you can have 10 active missions. You can give it a mission title, and let's say mission title is blah, and that's a bad mission title. I can choose a URL destination at this point, or a YouTube video. I give it a description, blah 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 blah, and a mission type. So you could give people a certain amount of reward if they do one of 2 things with the YouTube video. Either like or dislike a video, or subscribe to a channel. And when they do that, they will kind of receive whatever it is that you say you're going to value that mission at. So if you're looking to drive up likes or possibly dislikes to a video, you can't ask for them. You can merely indicate, hey, take a look at this video. And if you like or dislike it, because you can't encourage likes according to the terms of service, you could get a reward. Type of reward, right now, EVES payout is the only type of reward. How many EVES do you want to give? You can give all the way up to 50,000 EVES. That's a lot. And how many do you want to give out? You want to just give out 10? Sure, give out 10. You want to give out 500? Give out 500. Granted, 500 rewards at 50,000 EVs per reward is approximately 50 million. Even I don't have that total cost, so there's no way I could send it out. So you can stick to the lower end unless it's something that's very valuable to you. You can kind of play with the numbers and fudge with the numbers. 5,000 EVs, I can send it out 100 times. If it was a video that I really wanted to drive likes to, I might go this route because 5,000 EVs is a very healthy amount of EVs to give to somebody. Now, you can also define who the mission's for. Shareholders only, anyone, or non-shareholders. So you can specifically find people who haven't yet invested in you, whether it's 1 share, 500 shares, whatever, by targeting a mission to them. You can even define the minimum shares you own, their minimum share price, shares owned for at least 1 day, 10 days, 20 days. You can specifically go in and granularly control who's going to be able to take advantage of that mission. Apparently Kim Beasley, who's also an Empire Avenue user, says my mission creation page looks different from the regular mission page. That's odd. Orion Wills says it looks the same as mine. So if I wanted to really draw attention to this, I would send it out as a shareholder mail, and that basically would send it out to all the people who have invested in me, and that would add an additional cost of 248,850 EVs, which to me is a drop in the bucket because, as you can see, if I click on my bank, I can see the earnings, the dividend earnings. What I generated yesterday was I generated 531,000 EVs. So I could easily send that out as a shareholder mail and wouldn't really be out any EVs. It used to be that way, but eventually I invested in enough people and continued to invest in people and grew my portfolio. And I only have 1,496 people in my portfolio, or stocks in my portfolio. It's difficult to say. Usernames, users, stocks, symbols, whatever, not people in my portfolio. But the nice thing is I also have almost 10,000 shareholders here on Empire Avenue. So when I send out that message as a shareholder message, 10,000 people may very well see that particular message. The challenge with that is right now, as I said in the beginning, very few people had access to missions. Now everybody has it. There's a lot to pay attention to. And you can see what people are asking for. 1,000 for a tweet, latest podcast, share, buy, and connect mission. Bird flu research rattles bioterrorism, and it's likely a link. So it says a reward of 1,000 EVs. So you can see the level of reward right there. Retweet a message and like a page. 18 remaining in a reward, 2,500 EVs. It's a great way to generate EVs. Like, comment, and subscribe, Creighton Miller. So a reward of 5,000 with 246 remaining. That's a great jumpstart for those of you who have not yet liked, comment, or subscribed to Creighton's channel. These are the doable missions that are viewable. If I want to see just those in the portfolio, this is what I would see. I can see by the most recent or the most amount of likes. And so there's 0 remaining. So that's not doable. It's just this was done. Or, of course, I can go and look at it in terms of a global feed, including Kim just sent out Mission 8, retweet and like YouTube video. She's offering 1,000 EVs for doing just that with approximately 50 remaining. So missions is a great way to not just reward beyond the good content that you're doing and the interaction that you're doing in social media, but it's a great way to further engage your connected community and also find people who otherwise would have no idea that you even existed. And that's my number one tip for anybody starting out with Empire Avenue. Jump into missions with 2 feet. You're going to make some solid connections because unfortunately not everybody is going to be able to drive their share price super, super high. It's going to take a long, long time. And part of that is an incredible amount of velocity. A part of it is engagement, and part of it is just being able to return a high amount of dividends for your shareholders, because some people want a healthy amount of dividends for their investment, and I would expect that, especially with a higher share price. A couple people just in this process have purchased a couple of more EVs in me, or I should say shares in me, although it doesn't say exactly. Usually what you can do when you invest in somebody. Jeffrey Vernon here says, here's 100 for you. So I can click leave a shout and say, thanks. There's a little bit of engagement right there. Easy to do. Easy as anything. As I scroll down the page, I see more commentary. And I also see my latest achievements, so you could look at anybody's page and see what they've done. Influence mogul simply means if I click it, it'll say number 41, which means I own at least 775,000 shares in users. There are a few other people who do as well, and so I can click through to any one of their pages to see if I want to invest in them, if I haven't. There's the Nomies subscription achievement, which all Nomies can get, and there's a handful who have already applied it. And 482 likes. That's pretty good. That makes me happy. And I can also see my network activity as a zeitgeist. Empire Avenue actions, Facebook posts, 789 comments, 3,100 likes, 214 tweets, etc., etc. Kind of like an overview, a high-level overview. Oh, it looks like I joined, almost a year ago, 11 months ago today. Or not exactly today. There's also something, if I'm on this page and I just want to view my tweets, or I can click the tweets button. Or if I just want to see Flickr photos, I can click the Flickr button. Facebook updates there. Google Plus does seem to be working as well. WordPress blog updates, Empire Avenue updates, LinkedIn updates, and on and on and on, including YouTube. Although it's not very descriptive. It's just Chris Pirillo has rated a video. Well, good for Chris Pirillo. That doesn't mean anything to me. They're continuing to work on it. There's definitely a few issues. If I wanted to view my shareholders, I'd simply click the shareholders button. And from this page, I would be able to look at any one of these people. And if I click their name, I would get more statistics. Hang on, I'm looking for, let's see if I can find Kim in here. I don't know if Kim's on this first page. I may have to dig a little deeper. I have to find somebody else. Oh, there's Chris. I know a lot.
I haven't broke 100 yet.
I've met. Oh, you haven't? Not yet?
No. I'm at 94.
Oh, okay. See, it's sorting right now by price. I can also do a reverse price. So the lowest one, let's see here. Highest one is 517 that I've invested in. The lowest one, this isn't right. Oh, the price. Okay. Gainers. So the people who have jumped the most today. This guy jumped 13 points today. If I click it again, it sorts it in reverse, or it should. Sliders. So this person dropped 2.82 points. Don't just drop them right away, though, because you have no idea why they dropped or if it's anything significant. You'd want to look. Generally speaking, anymore, if I buy shares in you, I'm not going to let them go. I'm just going to continue to grow. I stopped doing a lot of those changes the way that I was doing things in the beginning. Not long after the mission started, I realized, I don't really need to get rid of anybody in my portfolio because they're all great performers. They're all great people. And more importantly, I'm not really hurting on eaves. So here's Orion, a fellow Nomie. I'm just going to go ahead and click him. And what it shows me here on the side is I can view his ticker symbol. He's in Austin, Texas. I can see, I can view the profile here. I can see that with him, I own 600 shares. And he owns 600 shares. Their last buy is 350 shares about 8 minutes ago. Shows me his portfolio value, or in my portfolio, the value of his particular stock, or his account. And it shows me that he's on a general upward trend, which means he's a pretty solid investment, or he would be a solid investment. I could also sell him if I wanted to. I don't want to, though, because I can see that the dividends paid out, 714 EVs. That's respectable. That's a good amount. The value in the portfolio, again, and how it's grown since the first time that I invested in him. The yesterday activity earnings, he gave me 941 EVs automatically because I invested 600 shares, or I bought 600 shares in him. Average dividend per share, remember I told you anything above 1.0 is pretty good. You may not be able to see that number in the screencast, but it's a 1.16, which is fantastic. Tells me a bit more about his activity online, the share purchase history, dividends history, earnings history, and anything else. So I can see a complete history if you really want to dig into the nitty gritty of all the people that you're investing in. And many people do, and many people want to. On this page, I can see that he's pretty engaged on Twitter, Facebook, Empire Avenue, and LinkedIn a bit. I've got a couple of links that I can see up in his description, so I can learn more about him. I can actually browse his portfolio if I wanted to, right from his page. And I can see he's invested in me, yay. I can see the people that have invested in him. I can see his active missions. So, you can explore a lot about somebody else beyond a Twitter symbol or a Facebook page by going to Empire Avenue and, learning more about them. Few people are really active on just one network over another. I mean, I think that the people that seem to do best within this world in business and social media are the people who are present, where other people are present. Wherever there can be activity done, this is where people are having activity. So it's a game. It's a community or a series of communities. It's a chance for you to allow your business to be discovered by people who otherwise would not know anything about you or your business. It's a way to get the word out. And in many ways, you can do this without spending anything. The idea of doing the NOMI's achievement was to specifically kind of give you a jump start on, if you hadn't joined yet or you're looking for an extra boost. Everything here is extremely valuable. In fact, how valuable? Well, let's say here, receive a one-time 1,000 or 100,000 EVE bonus. If you need extra EVEs and you have money laying around, you could spend $100 and get 500,000 EVEs. $50, 200,000 EVEs. $25 gets you 100,000 EVEs. And this could get you a jump start. So there's actual value in this virtual currency that we're offering beyond the value of 200 shares in me and me buying 200 shares in you. That's a lot of value. Let's see if I did the calculation here. If I go here and do let's see what's my price again? 533 times 200, 106,600. That's how many EVEs that's worth. So that's approximately a $50 value beyond, and then some. Not to mention me buying 200 in you. It's a $50 value according to the network stats if you're a NOMI. So I basically, for all NOMIs, I've given you over $50 worth of value on Empire Avenue. Over. And for those who are already engaged on Empire Avenue, the NOMIs is really, and I probably couldn't speak as well to NOMIs as the other people could, but it's a growing community. Right now we're on our way to 500 people, and it's generally speaking, those who are interested in, getting a leg up on the competition and looking for business strategies and ideas and refinements. You can set up a website, but where do you go from there? Are you doing the right thing on the website? Could you do things better? Are you looking for qualified feedback? Are you looking for advice? Generally, I will, see things in my inbox and share them with NOMIs only. In fact, I found a $30 business ebook that you can get for free that I ended up posting to the NOMIs private Facebook group that a few people appreciated. Again, driving continual value back to people and helping them do the things that they're trying to do. Much like I've helped people, do things inside of social media, getting the word out. I've kind of been doing the same thing, or at least trying to, with the NOMI subscription. And the two kind of go hand in hand, honestly, or at least I've tried to build them in such a way that the two could really go hand in hand. April Elise Martin says, what I'm looking to get out of it is really to get more people to listen to my mixes and gain more fans for that. So one of the things that you could probably do with that is, of course, be engaged. You might want to go to the search box and do a search for the type of music that you're interested in. And if only because you have the ability to, if I can find it here, I'm not going to edit bio yet. I think this still works. There was, if I can find it, they may have moved it or removed it. There used to be a way that you could tag your profile. And I don't see it on the current profile page.
Click on your image.
Really? That didn't work. I think, is it manage lists?
Wait.
No, that's how you get listed. People can add you to different lists and recommended lists, which just gives more people the ability to discover you.
Settings, upper right hand corner, settings.
Is it settings?
Yeah, over on the right.
Oh, yeah.
On the right.
Up here. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Edit profile. They didn't really make that intuitive. Nope, not edit profile. Apparently not that intuitive. Settings?
Mm-hmm.
No. Change passwords. Where?
Because I did it the other day. It's go back to edit profile information.
God,
and then the first name and last name. Yours?
I can't. I'm verified. They won't let me.
Oh, that's right.
That's why I
Here's
can't find it. That's why I can't do anything right now. And I've even asked him, like, can you unverify me? I don't need to be
here's
verified.
mine. Here's mine.
Verification doesn't do anything for you.
There's
Uh,
mine.
okay. Because you should be able to change your tags, and then people could search for certain tags. Like if I search for Seattle, even, and I can find people that are their stock ticker Seattle, something in their handle Seattle, something is Seattle. And if I was interested in Seattle, I would probably go and look for people who were in my particular area and potentially
Hmm.
purchase shares in them so that I would come upon their radar. This is
That's
it's a
that's
pretty
what I
big deal.
did. Yeah.
Uh,
I put my first name, keep my full name, and then my last name is where I put my tags.
oh, okay. Um, so you can if you put something in your bio, just give people a reason to connect with you. And the way that I always explain that, people say, well, I have a blog but nobody's commenting, and I always ask them, well, where are you commenting? Elsewhere. Well, I'm not. I'm like, well, there's your problem. You're not participating, dude. The world isn't going to beat a path to your door. In many cases, you have to get in front of them. And even if, April, you were to take and create a mission saying, hey, I'm about to do a set live here. Just tune in and listen, and you'll get 500 Eves as a reward. And potentially, you'll gain some attention and followers there. My engagement on Twitter was boosted when I joined Empire Avenue. Not because I was talking about Empire Avenue, but because a lot of the people that, were in it understood that if the more velocity that I had, the greater my return would be for them. So they only won if I won. And so that's continued to encourage a lot of participation on Twitter and Facebook and beyond. And certainly this is something that other people have seen as well. Not to say that I can quantify it. I had X many retweets thanks to Empire Avenue, but certainly more than I would have had without it. And I think anybody, if you're an engager and you comment and you interact and you find people of similar interests, you're going to discover and expand your networks in ways that Facebook can't do for you. Google Plus might be able to do for you, and Twitter possibly. So it's not just about learning and exploring what happens on Empire Avenue. It's about taking those connections outside of Empire Avenue and beyond Empire Avenue to Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus, Instagram, etc. You're looking for new followers on your blog. You're looking for new followers on Twitter. Dude, I'm telling you, you can find them at Empire Avenue, because they are interested in learning more about you, especially if you have interesting things to say. And that's exactly why I respect the number they put out there, because it's not about the number of followers. It's about that audience quality. Are the people interacting with you? Are you interacting with them? Are you giving value to the people who say that they're following you? It's pretty easy to catch a spammer, or to see if someone's just full of BS if they call themselves a social media expert, when in fact all they are is active on Twitter and they don't have a presence on Google Plus or Facebook. That's not a real good social media expert, if you ask me. So, and there's a lot of them out there, believe me. James Swan says, when do you think Empire Avenue will put Google Plus pages on their site? They kind of did, but they're probably waiting for Google Plus's API, and Lord knows when that's going to happen. Bought 200. Jesse is asking, bought 200 shares, payment for 200 shares at 35% value. What does that mean? If you bought 200 shares, or if someone bought 200 shares in you basically earned 35% of that value, whatever your share price happens to be. That number is generated based on how many, or I think how high your share price is. It's been a while since I've calculated that number, but that number actually drops. The more active you are and the more money you make, they actually keep you from making tons and tons of money. That number, I think, drops as low as 10%. I'm at the lowest number at this point, but I don't even think about it anymore. I'm kind of in an upper echelon of sorts that a lot of people aren't in. But my recommendations for everybody is certainly to engage. Start fooling around with the missions. Participate, comment, reply. You can set up. I was in the settings page earlier. You can set up a account alerts. So if I don't want to update that, let's go over here. You can hide the ticker. You can show the ticker. I don't know if the ticker was hidden. There we go. Guess it was weird. It was supposed to be enabled, but apparently it's not compatible with my browser. I should be seeing a live ticker at the top. Disable community post notification, pop-up notifications, shout out on buy. I keep all those things enabled. Here's my notification bar so I can see. This is kind of like Google. If you've seen Google Plus, most recent things. Someone left a shout out in my profile. I can jump directly to it. Someone bought 100 shares in me. I can see my inbox. And to tell you the truth, I don't read my inbox because they don't send it as separate emails anymore, which is kind of disappointing. Or at least maybe I set a toggle that I'm not receiving anymore. Shareholder mails that I get, and it's hard to keep up because I have so many people that I've invested in. But this is where they would show up. And then communities, any kind of activity from my various communities would be in here, or I could view all the communities. So there's the notifications bar. Current share price and trend, bank balance, profile page, portfolio, and quick links, including connections, achievements. So this is where I connected all my profiles, achievements. So these are all the achievements, the latest ones. You get different achievements that are worth different things. I think the Know Me subscription achievement is probably worth the most out of all achievements, to tell you the truth, if you added up all the value for it. I could send a shareholder mail separate from missions, although why do that? Might as well send a shareholder mail with a mission. It's, put a little value, give them an extra reason to open it. If you want to really see the leaders, you can. From your connected social networks, you would see the leaders. So depending on who you're connected to, and if they're on Empire Avenue, that's kind of it. So it adds a bit of relevance. If I want to see the market leaders in price, I'm still leading the index of people, at least. Or wealth. Some people want to be the top wealth earner, and then many people are doing very, very well with wealth. I haven't really concentrated so much on the wealth. It's virtual currency, it's interesting stuff, but it's not. I guess to me the biggest value of Empire Avenue is making connections with people and giving them and driving value. And so the thing that I've said from the beginning, what is Empire Avenue for you is going to be different from what Empire Avenue is for me. For me, it's about driving up that dividends per share ratio. I want to be one of the top drivers of dividends. And for the most part, I am. And I do that by participating, by creating quality content, by engaging, by staying active, doing what I do with social media. It's not a secret. It just takes time. But you know what? That's my business. My business is to help businesses. My business is to be in business for myself. My business is to create content. There's no one thing that I guess I do, but Empire Avenue has certainly helped me accelerate that business, in ways that I couldn't do just using Facebook or Google Plus or Instagram or any one of these points of presence alone. So it just takes time to do anything and to do it well. I posted some older strategies to my blog. That post probably needs to be updated. The bottom line, is engagement. And they've got the keyword right there in the title. Whether the math confuses you, if you can step beyond that to realize that there are some people here who are actively, deeply engaged with one another, that's what you want to be focusing on more than anything. Whatever it is that they want to be focusing on, and whatever it is they have as their background, you're going to be able to meet people that you otherwise would never have met. And you'll learn more from that. It's kind of a Da Vinci principle at hand. Medici effect. Looking at it and dismissing it outright without even trying a mission, you're not really giving it the attention that it deserves. And that's really all I wanted to present in this particular broadcast. Helping potential connections isn't reciprocal. No, it isn't necessarily reciprocal. So many people say, "Hey, I bought 200 in you, buy 200 in me." I'm like, I don't know. You're not doing much. I don't know if you're my type of person. If I was looking at it from an investment point of view, they may be a good investment. They may not be a good investment. I don't believe there's a bad investment necessarily, but if you have a certain amount of EVEs, those EVEs are precious. If I only had, let's say, a hundredth of these eves, they would be even more precious than they are right now. So as I try to quench my thirst on my end, I've been hit with allergies like you would not believe. So hopefully I will not have lost my voice at the end of doing this particular broadcast. Dive in, give Empire Avenue a shot, play with missions, and I'm sure we'll do other types of presentations like this, especially if you guys have any deeper questions or specifically in relation to social media. That's really what the Empire Avenue achievement for Nomies is about, is kind of giving you guys a jump start. And even if you're already on Empire Avenue, well, I can give you even more of a jump start. That's kind of the bottom line. And of course, if you're not a Nomie yet, you can easily become one. Depending on your level of commitment, I can do different things for you. So if you wanted me to promote your website, I could do that. If you want more one-on-one support, I could do that. If you want my, general, connections, instant feedback, connections with the community, that's what everybody gets. You can also get that. We try to accommodate everybody with what I have in a Nomie subscription service. And a few months into it, we almost have about 500 people who've signed up. I'd say we're doing pretty well. So, if you want to join Nomies, join Nomies. I'm not going to force anybody to join. I mean, I want people to join because they want to join. All right. So with that, I think we'll go ahead and close her out.